Good morning, good Monday. Today is your daily tarot. This is your daily tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries. Today is a very good day. It is a daily tarot card reading for all zodiac signs. If you're watching this on Astrology Motivation, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. Select all notifications so you know when I upload your favorite content. If you want to join me for these readings live, what's up, Tree? You have to head on over to my Instagram profile. You can find me on Instagram at born_without_boundaries, and then you can join in live. And I hope you will. If you're looking for zodiac specific readings, those are over on my premiere channel, which is Born Without Boundaries Tarot, also here on YouTube. And I do 12 videos every single week. Messages, weekly messages, not time stamped, not time sensitive, but weekly. You get a new message every single week. Over here and on my Vimeo feed over at Born Without Boundaries on Vimeo. So they come out every week over there too. That's sort of for special members. That's a paid site. So I hope you guys can join in the content over there as well. You ready, everybody? What's up? Good morning. Lots of chaos, man. Lots of chaos. And you know, chaos is a natural part of life, and so is violence. But chaos for chaos sake is just greed, and we have to watch that kind of shit. Interesting stuff. Uranus is having a huge impact on us. It wants us to change. It wants changes to be made, but if it has to do so by showing us how stupid our ideals or morals have become, then it will. And so there's a lot of in-your-face stuff that's happening right now. Hey, what's up? Today, the moon is in Capricorn. The message from Llewellyn's Witch's Date Book is when you see a mourning dove, sit with your feelings. It's interesting because I've been seeing doves like crazy to the point where they coo at me and get my attention. Sit with your feelings. When you see a mourning dove, sit with your feelings. Okay. There's been a lot of shifts to the point where we may feel like this week is a little stagnant. Not the case, but we just shifted a lot of energy with the moon and Venus and Mercury all shifting signs on between Friday and Saturday, depending on where on the globe you were. It was pretty big time, but they were all shifted by Saturday, and it was just, I don't know, lots of shifts happening, and Jesus, I don't have all the answers. Are astrologers supposed to have all the answers? I don't. I'm attracted to astrology because it helps me make sense of all this. I personally don't want Uranus in my face. Nobody does. Well, some people do. Some people do. Some people do. Some people like the stink of shits. And that's kind of what you get when you just kind of like do things for rebellion's sake. Just for this. Rebellion for what? That's sort of what we should be asking ourselves. Like, rebellion for what? It's like we make fun of people who get out there and protest for a meaning, but then we'll go and rebel against who? Like, rebellion for what? I'm thinking about what happened at Astro World on Friday. It's like, we'll make fun of people who get out there and risk their lives to protest and change things for real, right? But then when it's just like at a fucking rock or rap concert, we think we're cool. We're stupid. That's rebellion idiocy. Like, that rebellion for what are you rebelling against? You went to a concert because you're a privileged kid who could afford that big old ticket. What do you think you're rebelling against? Nothing. Nothing. You're rebelling against nothing. But then we'll sit in judgment of people who get out there on the streets and protest to try to make a difference or change laws. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, you fucking cowards. So that's what I think about the difference. Like, what are we rebelling for? Rebelling against who? Half of those motherfuckers were probably there with their parents' money. What are you rebelling against? You're rebelling against shit. He's not the first artist to do that either. Jim Morrison was infamous for it. Same stupid shit though. Rebellion for what? Rebellion for what? Rebellion's sake? You can't find a better purpose for that shit? No. It's just dumb. Stupid shit. Who the fuck are you? Okay enough, chill. Fuck off. Get off. You don't want to hear me? Don't hear me. Peace the fuck out. Who the fuck are you? You're gone. You matter. You don't matter. Peace out. I think we're getting trolls on here, people. I think we're getting trolls on here. I think we're getting trolls. So. That's okay. I just reported you. Fuck off. I just reported you. Well, if we're getting trolls on here, man, Jesus. I guess everybody's getting trolls. Fuck that shit. Anyway, you ready? Let's do this. This, like, clearly he doesn't even know, because, like, this is an all signs reading, right? This is a reading for all signs. This is not zodiac specific anything. This is a general energies reading for people who are called to it. So ultimately, you rang the wrong doorbell, bitch. We have this. This is healing, or healing from sadness, healing from pain, healing from endings, healing from suffering, maybe accepting an ending. And that's really what the Ten of Swords teaches, especially in reverse. The pain will persist until we accept the ending. It's over. This is done. It's over. There's nothing you can do about it. There's maybe in some ways it was never meant to be. That's when the pain really ends. When it's just over. Now there's mental clarity, taking time for yourself to just assess, basically objectively look at the situation and use that brain power to kind of get you through this and understand, without my emotions, what does this all mean? Take a second. That's the Queen of Swords. She definitely has, her superpower is objectivity and mental clarity. At least upright. Okay? So this is about, first two cards on the table, this is about looking at a painful situation objectively. Like, without taking it personally, seeing what the power of our intellect can do. There could have been some sort of confusion here. Or somebody was stuck between a rock and a hard place, but ultimately this is a peaceful way of looking at it. It's a sense of, okay, I'm having difficulties coming from both sides. When you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, both, like, you got to start designing a new path, right? That's like the inspiration for ingenuity right there. There's a sense of, okay, well, if this doesn't work for me and this doesn't work for me, where do I go? Someplace new, something different. There's never just two choices, ever. And then we have this, almost like a phantom of love, a dream love, a sense of love pulling you and calling you, or maybe even inspiring you to dream bigger, right? It's almost like just at a sense where you thought nothing was going to happen, right? You were stuck, or there was no movement. There's this sudden movement that you didn't expect, couldn't predict, couldn't see. Tower. Something changes on the inside. This is our central energy, so it's probably us. This is a moment of sudden change, which can come from clarity, right? A moment of sudden change, or even just those emotions drying up. Once again, coming out of hurt, coming out of suffering, coming out of isolation. It's 12-12, divine counterparts. This sense of coming out of, like, being able to deal with and accept what is going on in our minds, what's happening in our brains. Handle it, healing. Also an awakening of, we're doing this to ourselves, we're hurting ourselves. Judgment. And in some ways, this is almost the rapture, the awakening, right? The chosen. Making good choices, or being chosen, being selected. But this is confusion about all the choices. I mean, this tells me that you're going to have a lot of options. It may shock the shit out of you. You may not even expect it, right? Or it's saying open yourself up to a lot of different options. And then we have the 8 of Cups. Moving on. Moving on from what? Anything that doesn't fill you up. We have the 6 of Cups. Nostalgia. I want to go home again. You can't go home again. Finding home again. Feeling comfort. Ooh, we have the Strength card out here. Facing our fears. Looking them straight in the eye. Wow. Okay. So, hi, little buddy. Hi. I know there's some profound meaning here. I've also just felt, in a sense, I've felt really disconnected lately. And I don't like it. Not disconnected from what a little disconnected, a little numb. That could be because of personal shit happening. So maybe this is what I have to do, is just be really objective here. It's going to take a lot of courage for us to admit what we felt and what we really wanted and what it meant to us when we didn't get it. It's going to take a lot of courage. But ultimately, I think that's why we were put through what we were put through, to make us find the courage. These 7 of Cups here is confusion, delusion. I think you're walking away. We're starting to wake up from the illusion or lies that we have to tell ourselves. That's kind of what it is. We're sort of waking up from the fantasies or the self-imposed falsehood or delusions. We're walking away from those now, even though what we see in front of us is ugly. It's what I call taking a vacation in reality. That sense of not really wanting to be lost anymore, wanting to wake up. And also making good choices that are better than where we were before, because we were making decisions based on our desire to escape making decisions, or our desire to change, or our desire to escape change, desire to not be uncomfortable, trying to avoid the discomfort. This is when we fucking wake up and realize how really ugly illusions are, because they're just exacerbating the situation. They're making it worse. Basically, we're waking up to our fantasies and how our fantasies have distracted us, taken us outside of our own ability to make progress, because the only way that progress is actually made is by working your ass off, working really hard, facing the challenges, falling, getting bruised, getting back up again. All of those things are what we're facing right now. And ultimately, I think it stemmed with the Six of Cups here, it stemmed from an illusion or a dream that we've had for a long time. So maybe we don't even know it's in us. It could have been fourth house taught, you know, a sense of this is how things are supposed to go, or like the ideals that we learned a long time ago. But it's making us face the bullshit of all that. You know, and I think the biggest fear here is, okay, but what do I have if I don't have that? That's a scary question, right? Sometimes we cling to something just because it's better than nothing. And this is when we finally find the strength to ask ourselves, what if it isn't better than nothing? What if nothing is exactly what I need to accept right now? Okay. Let's get into the oracles. This Tower moment in the center of our energy it's going to be a surprise, and like something's hitting you out of the blue. And it's interesting how we come to an emotional change through mental clarity. A win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra. This is coming up at the end of the day or a little bit in the future. Don't let your past hold you back. So this is going to make differences and changes, especially when it comes to relationships. This sense of what was expected, especially what was expected in our childhood, what people wanted or what we thought we wanted. All of those things, they're changing. We're shifting. We're finding the courage to allow ourselves to dream beyond what we thought we wanted. This could be as simple as dating somebody outside of your physical type. But be warned, just because they're out of your physical type doesn't mean they're out of your emotional safety type, right? You could be dating a motherfucker who looks very different, but they're still the same motherfucker that you've always dated. It's not about looks, it's about who they are, right? So wake up to that. And that's where that South Node energy is, that it's like you have to have the courage to move outside of your comfort zone. Oh, God, thank you, God. It's like sometimes God knows, like, I'm not picking up the right meaning of the cards in front of me, so it gives me two more. You have to have the courage to go outside of your emotional, this is cups, comfort zone. You know? Be like, I feel coddled here with Mumsy and Dadsy. This is your comfort zone. You're comfortable here because this is where you begin. This is where you started. This is where no decisions were made by you. All decisions were made by fate and your parents, which were part of fate. Now you're out here in the wide world of heading toward the North Node, where you have to actually buck up, Buttercup, and make some of your own fucking choices, right? Have you chosen, especially in partnership, that person who will grow with you, or are you stuck in the same fucking comfort zone? Where are you right now? Transformative energy. We're in Scorpio. This is gonna hurt. We're changing who we choose to be with because we want to change ourselves. Partnership can be beyond romance. It doesn't have to just be changing our friends, changing the people that we work with, admitting that we want the change. But it first takes admitting who we are. I'm a pussy. I like the security. Okay. Do I like that about me? No, I don't. So what do? I don't know. Gotta make different choices. You can't change who you are. I'm gonna tell you that right now. There's no such fucking thing as you changing who you are. But you can change your choices, and you can change the application of who you are. But that takes that kind of courage where you can objectively grow the fuck up, control yourself, and figure it the fuck out. Right? We have throat chakra here, which is speaking. It's clarity. It's the after effect of mental clarity, which is, okay, now I know what to say. Now I can bring this idea forth into the real world through my mouth because it's coming out my throat chakra. I've got something to say because I figured it out. This could also be getting word, getting a message, moving on. A message that maybe clarify something for you, helps you realize I gotta move the fuck on. This shit is like it's over. It's done with. I gotta move forward. I'm not saying it's gonna be the easiest thing. There's clarity coming today about what you really need to leave behind. The thought process, the like the tether, like the safety wheels, right? You gotta move on from those. That sense of realizing it. I don't know if we're gonna, I just saw what this card adds up to. Look at 5 + 6 is what? 11. It's realizing something. It's just that it dawns on you. Don't let your past hold you back. Step outside of your comfort zone. A win-win forecast. Time for a nap. No, it's not. Time to wake up. More letting go. Time to wake up. No time for sleepyhead. You're done. You're done dreaming. That's the illusion, right? The sense of we're done dreaming. We're done with the dreams. We're done with the comfort, cradling, coddling. We're done with that. Now it's like the gritty, nasty street. Time to go. Time to move on. Time to move forward. Time to go where, though? Where do we want to go? Time to move forward. But forward is a scary place because we don't necessarily know what's through that door. We know what we want to be there. We don't know how long it's going to take to get there. Capricorn energy for me is this is looking at something. It's time to head toward what you've been desiring. That's what it's saying. It's time to head toward what you've been coveting, what you really want, what you've been sitting there looking at, desiring. Did you go for it? Or did you sit back and not risk it? This is in the past. I feel like somebody didn't make a move. This is a sense of maybe in the past there was a chance that was taken. This has something to do with a situation in the past where you didn't let anybody hold you back. You went for it. But ultimately you thought that was over. It was done. Because there was clearly rejection. It's interesting how we kind of need to be disappointed in order to figure out who we really are. You know your strengths when you have to go through hard shit, like the shit that you don't really want to deal with, you don't really want to face. You know who somebody is in those hard moments, in those difficult moments. You're not really tested if you've basically had a pretty easygoing life, right? You're not really tested. You don't know your survival techniques. You don't know your survival mechanisms. You don't ever get to hone those skills or strengthen those skills, sharpen those skills if you've never really been big time disappointed in your life. This is almost like the energy of somebody having to, I think, do what's really difficult. And I've never been uncomfortable in my life, but I'm going to make myself uncomfortable in my life because I need to know how to deal with discomfort. That kind of energy. And that's not rebellion for rebellion's sake. That's just stretching beyond comfort in general. change. Something's changing. Somebody's cutting somebody loose. You guys are cutting somebody loose. Somebody's making a decision that this shit don't work for me no more. I don't want this anymore. I don't want it. I got no interest in it. I got no need for it. Or maybe I do have a need for it. And that's the scary part. You know, maybe I do still have a need to do this kind of work. But ultimately, I hate it so much. Like I feel like a noose around my throat every time I go to do this work. I'm just going to cut it out then. Even though I do need it, I still need the income. But I also need the space for something that I love to come in. I got to clear this shit out. There's some change coming. Somebody's cutting some ties. And you know what's really interesting is it's not that you're over it. It's that you're over needing it. Emotionally, I feel like this is going to linger for a while. But there's an acceptance of, okay, but I can't let my emotions dictate my reality. They're supposed to guide me. They're not supposed to dictate me. I'm not supposed to have no control over where I end up in life because I'm pushed by the flow of my emotions every time. I'm supposed, that means that you're just like a piece of chattel in the water. Pizza flotsam. Right? Where is your consciousness coming in and saying, okay, I know my emotions want to push me here, but what do I do with that? What do I do with this flow? There's a sense of like awakening to this conscious sense of responsibility of what my part is in all this, right? I can't just be pushed one way or the other because it's easy. Sometimes you got to go with the flow. That's true. Not today. Not today. Today you got to ask, well, hold the fuck. Do I really even, is this flow even really connected to my heart space? Because your emotions aren't always connected to your heart space. Your emotions are a reaction that you get from your experiences. So ultimately, sometimes they're from your ego. This objectivity here is cutting through the bullshit. Sometimes we need our intellect. And that's sort of where I think Mercury and Scorpio is coming. It's like, okay, but what are we really here for? And let's cut the bullshit. I know we've filled this space up with a lot of good excuses and really nice sounding reasons, but what are we really here for? Let's just be honest. I don't know. And our level of success right now is how well we're able to be honest with something. It's time to really chase what you really fucking want. However, what you really fucking want may be changing. So it's time to also accept that as well. There you go. I am beautiful. I feel brave is in reverse. So it's almost like we didn't have a lot of confidence in the way we felt about ourselves. You know, we didn't have a lot of confidence in our own personal image, confidence in the way that we appeared to others, confidence in the way that we looked specifically, this sense of not feeling good enough, or not having the courage to really see the beauty in yourself. We just didn't. We were a little bit insecure. So there's some sort of insecurities happening in the past. Okay. Something else comes up in the past. Animal bond, but it's in reverse. It's almost like in order to feel more powerful, we intentionally defied our good side, our kind side, our compassionate side, because we were like, oh, I'm settling for the same thing, or it's too plain, or I'm letting people bully me. So look at my weekly astrology forecast. That's kind of what it was all about. The sense of rebellion for rebellion's sake. Just because you tell me it, I'm gonna do the opposite because I'm insecure about who I really am, and because I feel like rebellion is the only way to show you that I have any power here at all. It's like the tantruming child, right? That sense of, or the child who will go and piss in a fucking corner, you know, just because they don't want to piss in the toilet like mom and dad said. Well, I'm going to piss in the corner. Okay. You're still pissing in a fucking corner like a goddamn dog, acting like a fucking ass, stinking up your pants and the house. Way to go, rebellion. Way to go. You really took control of that situation. That's kind of what I meant. That's kind of what I mean. This sense of like, I want to go against oppositional behavior. That's why I named this week what I did. This senseless sense of oppositional behavior. I'm just going to do it because this is the only way my insecure, clueless ass who doesn't want to face myself, the only way that I can do it is to say no to what you've told me or what you've pointed out to me. Even though I'm putting myself in a shitty situation, an even worse situation, because I don't really know how to assert myself without telling you you're wrong. First of all, there's accepting myself, accepting what I want, accepting what I love, right? In other words, is the only way to get out of our comfort zone to rebel against it. I guess at a certain point when you're 3, sure, and you're still allowed to shit yourself without anybody asking questions. But what about when you're 33? Shouldn't be shitting yourself, should ya? Shouldn't be doing that stupid crap. And if you are, it's because what you really want to be fighting, you're not. You're avoiding. And that's those parts of yourself that you're actually ashamed of, that you don't want to look at and realize, hey, I didn't work on you hard enough, or I didn't do well enough, or I didn't do my work here. I don't want people to realize I am still weak, and I still do need this guidance, and I still do need this coddling, and how shameful is that? I don't want to face it. So I'm just going to pretend that I really want this, but I really don't. Look at self-reliance and sensuality, all squashed. All squashed. We don't want to let our base nature out because we're scared of who we are. This is about facing our fears of who we really are. What we really like, what that really means about us. Based on what? Other people's opinions? Who fucking cares? Are you aligned with your truth and happiness? Are you aligned with what really makes you happy? Because that's going to be the bed you end up making for yourself. That's the trap Saturn sets right now. That's the trap. I'm happy to be your father. I'm happy to fucking discipline your ass for the next 10, 20 years. I'm happy to do it. It's what I do. Can I make you rebel just for rebellion's sake? Can I? Can I? I don't know. That's the question. That's the question. Because what are you proving? All you're doing is proving just how immature you are. But so emotionally reactive that you can't talk to somebody. Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. There you go. It's all about lifting us to the next step. By releasing all this shit. By hopefully showing us just how fucking ridiculous it all is. Yeah. Own your divine power. Sugilite. Own your divine power. Replace codependent people pleasing with assertiveness and empowerment. That's not the same as rebellion for rebellion's sake. And there's that misleading trick of, I'm going to be assertive this time. Good. But are you being assertive with what you really want? I always love those people who thought they were all rebellious because they wore a certain kind of clothes that was very contrary to whatever anybody else's style was. I was like, you think you're a rebel? What you're wearing was just as dictated by the popular thing as theirs was. Theirs conforms to it, yours intentionally rejects it, but you're still being controlled by the norm. Don't you see that you're the same? Where's the motherfucker who shows up just in what they're comfortable in? That's the motherfucker that you want to fucking watch. That's the motherfucker that you want to be like, okay, that's a leader. I chose these clothes not because somebody else likes them, but because I like them, right? I chose these clothes not because other people don't like them, but because I do like them. You know, I just, like, I feel comfortable. That's better. Like, it's that. It's a metaphor for a much larger concept that I hope you understand. That sense of be yourself, show up as yourself, you know? What if you are dating that person that you're with right now just to tell somebody to go fuck themselves, just to like rebel? What if you're doing that? Then you're still not dating the person you want. You're dating the person that other people chose for you by saying, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what about being aligned with your heart? And people act the same stupid way too, like dating the person who their friends choose, or, you know, they fit right into their, you know, their group, and it's just so easy, and isn't that awesome? And it's like, is it awesome? Are you really with the person that you want to be with? Or are you just, you know, looking for another tether to the community that you're already a part of? These are the kind of hard questions that we start to look at right now. Natural beauty and authenticity. Be yourself as God made you, naturally attractive and lovable inside and out. And that's what I'm talking about, motherfuckers. That's what I'm talking about. Be yourself. Be yourself. If you're trying too hard, you're lying to yourself. Progress, not perfection. Don't compare yourself to others or judge yourself. Instead, focus upon how far you've come and all that you've learned. Finding that sense of self-worth in the tide of expectation. Let's look at our angel messages. Diversity. The world would be a boring place if we were all the same. Celebrate your uniqueness. You are special and much loved. Miracle. Our wings of light surround you and those you love. This current situation is governed by a higher power. The forces of love are at work. All will turn out well. Think global. You are being encouraged to spread your wings. Think outside the square. You are a citizen of the world. Expand your vision. Imagine the world within your heart. Embrace it. Surround it with love. Let it be, and so it will be. That's come up a little bit in the past. You know, sometimes we try things just for trying them's sake. because we want help getting out of our comfort zone. And that's cool too. That's awesome too. You know, it's those little rebellions that aren't really rebellions. They're just inquiries, curiosity. That's awesome. But as soon as you find, oh, this is cool, okay, I get this, I understand this, it's time to move the fuck on. Or was this really as different as I thought it would be? And that's sometimes that's one of the most beautiful lessons we can learn, is when we realize we thought something was so different than us, and we realize, no, it's the same. It's the same. Absolutely. I think too many times we wrap things up in different packages and think, oh, it must be different. It's like, come on, man. A fucking Hershey bar has a lot of goddamn wrappers. You know, it's the same fucking chocolate. That's what I'm trying to say. It's the same thing. It's like we're repeating the same patterns over and over again, expecting that we're going to get someplace different, and we're not. We're not. It may look different, doesn't mean it is different. So then what do? We rebel. Not for rebellion's sake, but for the sake of getting out of our karmic loop. And if an opportunity to change or to do things differently has come in your life, it's because you're ready for it. It's because you're meant to. You're meant to make this change. Right? You gotta jump on that. You gotta grab that wild horse. As scary as it is, it will take you where you need to be. You ready for Monday? I hope you are. I hope you are, and I wish you a wonderful Monday. I know that for most of you, most of your workday is almost over, right? Over on the East Coast, it's already 3:44. You got another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours worth of work. You're good. You made it. Here, we're still midday. But ultimately, amen, hallelujah. Have a wonderful fucking Monday. I'm going to let you guys go. I got a busy schedule all week, jam-packed with personal readings. So, I wish you well. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being on here and enjoying the chat with each other and enjoying the time here with me, contributing. I love your insights when I catch them. I love them. It's so hard for me to read this shit. But ultimately, I will see you guys here tomorrow. Watch tomorrow. You got Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Libra coming up. Be really interested to see what the fuck comes up. It's going to be good. I'll talk to you guys soon.